community forum and on Instagram about your negative thoughts. And these are your negative thoughts and your worries, and we're going to cut them. Because I know 2020 is hard, but let's try to lighten the load. I'm always imagining that people are thinking the worst of me or judging everything that I do. It's caused me to be a bit self-conscious and cynical towards people. Now we're gonna cut that. Snip, snip. I worry also about people judging me and looking down on everything that I do in my life. And with time, you learn to just let it go and not stress. So cut. It'll be gone now, and if not totally gone, lighter. Okay. I worry about the same shit, so you're not alone in that. I'm more of the kind to imagine the worst all the time, and as I often say, no matter your opinion of me, mine will always be worse. Me too. It's sort of like, do you catastrophize? Let's cut it. No more catastrophizing and thinking the worst of everything, and that your thoughts are worse than other people. Okay. I feel like everyone judges me for literally everything, and I feel like I'm being judged a lot, even if I'm alone. Why are you worrying about what other people are thinking? was just a really thoughtful comment. Not a day goes by that I don't overthink. It's really tiring. I always try to convince myself that it gets better with time, but that hasn't happened yet. It doesn't stop me from trying to enjoy my everyday life and be the best me that I can be. I overthink also. Snip, cut. I'm gonna use the big scissors for this because I know that there's a lot of overthinkers on this channel. So, we're gonna eliminate all of those nasty thoughts that literally they make a nest in your brain and they don't leave. But we're cutting them. I'm cutting them right above your brain so they're no longer attached. Okay? I got a degree in overthinking and overcomplicating everything I do, and endless what-if thoughts. Extremely relatable. But, you know what? I'm gonna cut again. Cut. I'm literally envisioning these, like, thoughts that you guys are having. Like, imagine them like a thick string and just cutting through them. Imagine them also as I do it. If you see our comment or if you relate to it, just imagine that there's something hanging here, like a thought or something that we have to cut through. However you envision thoughts to look like visually. And okay, it'll help visualizing. I also have the habit of overthinking, and it really stresses me out. Last year, after finishing college, I started to prepare for the exam of my dream job. Although last year I was unable to pass the last stage of that exam, this year I was determined to achieve it. So at the beginning of this year, the first exam took place and I did well. But due to COVID, the results and the next stage exams are postponed. This is really stressing me out as I'm always thinking, what if I'll not be able to pass this year too? What if I'm not able to make my parents proud? What if I'm not able to get a good job? Although my parents always try to support me, still when I'm alone, these thoughts come and it makes me stressful. So this is my problem. I'm trying to get rid of this and hopefully I'll get back my inner peace. COVID. First, let's cut all of that. I know that COVID really fucked up everyone's plans. You know, people that maybe got new jobs and were able to actually continue them. People not having jobs anymore. Trips, weddings getting cancelled. Babies being born and, you know, family not being able to see them. People's schooling being, you know, being put to a halt. And at least you know that you're not alone in that, because everyone right now is dealing with, like, the grief of loss that, you know, many intangible losses that we're still trying to process. So many things were interrupted and stopped, and we don't know when they're gonna come back to normal, and that's really messing with everyone's heads. So your parents are aware of this, of course, but in terms of your school, they seem like supportive people, and I'm sure they will continue to support you no matter what. You passed the first exam, you did well, so of course you're going to pass the second one. Use this time to prepare for it, and I'm you're not doing enough, and at the same time that you're doing so much that you're annoying people. I get stuck in similar headspaces where I'm worrying like, I don't want to concern people and weigh them down with my problems. Like, I'm annoying them, I'm overdoing it, and then feeling guilty that I'm not doing enough for the people around me. I think that if there is something similar, your friends or family will let you know that something is too much or too little. A lot of these thoughts usually are in our head, so realistically, we sort of wind ourselves up over and over again until we just drive ourselves crazy. Good. Don't worry. It's easy to say and hard to do, but I try to remind myself that most of my anxieties are coming from in here and not reality, you sort of create these scenarios in your head that aren't true. So I think one thing that you can do is, like, when you get a thought like that, observe it like you're not yourself, like you're a stranger looking at your thoughts, and then see if they're true to reality or not. For me, ruminating thoughts about past events. Cut. Past events. It's already happened. What you can do is focus on now, on the current moment. Don't think about the past. It's gone. It's already out of your control, and what's in your control is what you do now, and the future, and how you handle the present moment. I constantly struggle with endless what-if shit, which makes me feel like I'm completely unable to handle anything alone. Me too. I feel unprepared and vulnerable all the time because I fear that something's gonna happen that I didn't plan with. I also tend to overthink what people think of me. These thoughts kind of creep into my head when I'm alone and make me think that I'm worthless, that nobody would ever spend time with me unless it's of good use to them. Things like that. Don't know if that counts though. Of course it counts. But we're gonna cut it so it doesn't count. And do our best to overcome that, because I was, and slowly she warmed up to it. But your grandparents obviously love you and support you and believe in you. So don't underestimate their love for you and their warmth and the fact that they would never think you're a disgrace. I'm sure they would never think you're a disgrace to their family or to them. And if you think talking to them would make it better, talk to them. I hope that makes it feel better. And I hope it goes away and you're not stressing about it as much. Talk to them about your fears. I tell my grandma everything. There's nothing that can shock her at this point, and it really helps. I feel as if I'm never good enough. I'm always doubting myself, questioning if I have this potential everyone seems to expect of me. My overthinking also tends to worsen situations by creating new problems. I constantly have the need to be liked. I think everyone on some level wants to be liked and accepted, and most people have these thoughts of questioning their worth. A lot of people, maybe not most. I certainly do. I'm always questioning if I'm enough for the people around me, if I'm enough for, like, I don't know, the stuff up for my channel, for my actual job. But I try to remember to be kind to myself, because are you going to say that to your friend? You're probably not going to use those words. You have to be your own best friend, basically, and just be nice to yourself and give yourself a break. You don't have to be all that and more. You don't have to be like a superhero doing everything and anything. You just have to make yourself proud with the person that you have become. And I think a lot of that comes with working hard for self-fulfilling when I'm on a crash course to the big sad. My negative thoughts just get me there faster, instead of what if bringing me out of it through logical thought processes. What if we'll just dig the hole deeper? It's true. What if never gets you anything good? Never. My grandma always tells me, what if, at most, you shit yourself. I think I've shared this with you before. Because in Bulgarian, it's like, and it's true. I always think of it, and it's like, nothing good will come of it. I'm gonna read this one and then I'm gonna go to Instagram, because this one I've experienced so many times. At times I look at my hands and thoughts rush into my mind that I am in fact alive. I become super self-aware and feel super disassociated for around a good minute. It's weird to explain, but I think we all have had this happen. Some of the thoughts that grab my attention while in this state is that all the things I'm looking at are real, but now seem kind of synthetic, and all my emotions are real, but seem synthetic. It's almost like I can't even fathom the simple concepts that we are brought up to believe as simple, though they are infinitely vast and unexplainable. Wow, you're a really good writer. The after effects of this hyper self-awareness is a feeling of whack existential dread, and then it evolves into an appreciation for the beautiful and mysterious life and mind that has been gifted to all of us. I guess in a sense, I kind of overcome my inner turmoil, but it always ends up happening once every few weeks. I've had this happen to me a few times, and I've never spun it around into that positive after effect. It always, for me, it ends into like an existential crisis. That's where I go. But that was fucking beautifully written. God, that was amazing. That's crazy. Thank you for, like, I don't know, spinning that around for us, because I'm sure a lot of you guys have had that moment of self-awareness where you're like, I'm actually here. And it is kind of like a short moment of disassociation where you black out for a second. It's really crazy. Let me know if it's happened to you. Okay, now I want to do a few from Instagram. You're not good enough. You can't do it. Yes, you can. Cut. You can do it. Dude, for so many fucking years, I thought that I couldn't do YouTube. And now I'm doing it. space right now. Right now, we're flying through space. Anyway, don't let that stress you out. Good. Don't let it stress you out. I'm not going to make it in life because I failed myself in the past. You're allowed to change over time, you know? But cut it first. You're allowed to evolve as a human being, of course, and you're allowed to have made mistakes in the past. You can hold yourself accountable, learn from them, and I say this a million times, but add value to yourself to the point where, you know, you're proud of the person that you're becoming. And I don't like that term, fail myself, because it's more like, you know, like hitting a rock in the road or a hiccup in your path that you just have to step over, overcome, and move on and do your best. You're not failing yourself, you're just running into challenges that you're finding solutions for. Because everyone goes through tough shit and everyone has made mistakes. Everyone has made mistakes. And we're gonna keep making mistakes. We are. It's impossible to live life without making mistakes. And sometimes the stuff that you're gonna do might quote unquote fail, or it might not work out as you expected, but you keep going and you try again and you try again. I'm gonna cut it one more time because I think a lot of people are dealing with that. Good. It's hard to start anything new when I'm too busy thinking about how I could fail. That's something that stops a lot of people from starting something. Until I found my thing, it took a really long time, and I tried a million different things. It was a matter of trial and error, lots of error. You know, like, I tried a million different little projects until I found this thing that makes me so fucking happy, and I get to talk to all of you, and it's like my little dream that's coming true, and you literally have to try a million things until you hit that sweet spot, you know, until you find the thing that works, and that just clicks in your soul, and in life, and in what you want, and what you're after. So, some things might not work out, but then there's that one thing that will. But you can't get to that thing until you try all those other things. You know the meme with, at the top there's a guy digging, and he's this close to the gold, and at the bottom there's another guy digging, and he's this far away. But the guy at the top walks the other direction and he gives up. But the guy at the bottom keeps on digging. So you never know when you're this close to finding something that you'll be so great at and that will work. I'm gonna cut that again. Don't let self-doubt stop you from trying. Never. Okay? Promise me. All of you promise me that you're gonna take a step towards doing something that you love. Please. Take that first step. Do it. And you're gonna feel so good. I'll give you some examples. So, I tried painting and wasn't working, and I didn't resonate with the content I was making. So I tried a lot of stuff. And I'm telling you that, yeah, some stuff won't work, but other stuff will. And you'll be like, holy fuck, I'm capable. Like, I can actually do it. This is insane. And then you start believing in yourself, and then you get more confident, and it's just fucking crazy. And I just want to tell you that I'm sorry, I know I'm talking too fast, and I don't think this video is very, like, tingly, but I just want you guys to know that you can do it. You can do it. I'm cutting it again. So you can believe me. Sometimes I think a lot about my future. Like, I feel like it'd never be momentous for someone. That's not true. You might meet a lot of people before you meet someone who clicks with you and who you are momentous for and who you are so vastly important for. You just don't know when it'll happen, and it might be tomorrow or the day after, but it will happen, and you have to believe in that. So it's not true. My grandma always tells me that there is a passenger for every train. So, like, not everyone is headed in the same direction. Some people take the road less traveled, but you won't be the only one on that road. There will be a few other people there, and it's the same in life and in relationships. There might not be a lot of people that you click with, but when you find the one person that you do click with, it works. Good. Got it. Good. Okay. I don't express my gratitude, and it contributes towards my negativity. I relate to this. Since I was little, this has been a problem. Tell me why is it hard for you to express gratitude? Is it hard to express it towards other people, or to yourself, to the things you have in life? I find it hard to express gratitude too. And like saying thank you, I always feel like I don't sound genuine when I say thank you. And then I start worrying, did I say that genuinely enough? Does that person think I'm being fake? Because I don't react big. People usually are like, wow, thank you so much. And I'm not like that. I don't know. I don't make enough effort to be mindful and enjoy the present as much as my mind wanders too much. A lot of people have difficulty doing that. If you can find some grounding, mindful practices or little things, or like having a token. For example, you always have a rock in your pocket, and whenever you put your hand in your pocket, you feel the rock, and you're like, okay, I'm here, I'm present, this is the moment, and it kind of takes you back. So this could be an emblem of presence, and anytime you feel it, it like centers you again, and it grounds you. It takes you back from, the past or the future, whatever you're thinking about. That'll never live up to the expectations of others. Thanks for all you do, dude. You don't have to live up to any expectations. You really don't. wanted you guys to see that you're not alone, that other people are thinking the same things. I'm out of focus. I think I was out of focus the whole time. Other people are thinking the same stuff as us. I'm thinking the same stuff as you. And you're absolutely not alone. We're all going through shit right now. This year. Like literally different piles of differently textured shit everywhere. So in that you're not alone. And also taking out COVID, taking out the recent events for the past year, you're not alone in life in general, because everyone else is going through really tough times. We all have our worries and our concerns